Hello, I'm Tony DeMaria, the editor of JACC, here with highlights from the October 23rd issue of the journal. An interesting article in this issue of JACC deals with the proportion of heart failure that is due to modifiable risk factors. And these data come from the JACC study, a well-known study. They've followed some 15,000 patients for over 17 years. And the modifiable risk factors for heart failure that they studied were smoking and diabetes, having a high LDL, hypertension, or obesity. And they examined these modifiable risk factors, and to cut to the bottom line, they observed that diabetes was clearly the strongest of the risk factors that could be modified. And in fact, if we were only able to reduce the incidence of diabetes by 5%, we could reduce the incidence of heart failure by about 50 in African Americans or 33 in Caucasians per 100,000 patient years, that many cases. So bottom line, there are modifiable risk factors for heart failure. They are significant, and they present a real opportunity for us to reduce the ultimate appearance of heart failure. One of the interesting questions that exists is, can we predict ultimate mortality and even morbidity in patients who've undergone cardiac resynchronization, CRT therapy? And one of the techniques that's attracted attention is the presence of mid-wall fibrosis as identified by late enhancement gadolinium scanning by cardiac magnetic resonance. And in a study from England, they evaluated patients with non-ischemic cardiomyopathy and found about 20% of them had mid-wall fibrosis identified by delayed enhancement. What they observed was, in those patients with mid-wall fibrosis, that the hazard ratio was about 18 for cardiovascular mortality and over 7 to 7.5 for overall MACE, major adverse cardiovascular events. Interestingly enough, they found if a patient with non-ischemic cardiomyopathy who underwent CRT had mid-wall fibrosis, their mortality was equal to those patients with ischemic cardiomyopathy, a group who in the past have had a worse prognosis following CRT than the non-ischemics. So another technique for assessing risk in our patients undergoing CRT, one that's easily done. This study, of course, was observational, didn't have a control group, and will need to be confirmed, but nevertheless, an indication of some very potentially useful information from magnetic resonance. I hope you'll agree this October 23rd issue of JACC brings some very interesting information. Thanks for watching.